Or do you think other people are in our family?
Close mo muna ko yung mga
Wait, this was everything. Hello, guys.
Yay!
Hello, everybody.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Joey.
I'm JJ.
I'm JM.
I'm Jock. I'm Jake.
And I'm Jamie. And welcome to It's Time
Family. Then welcome to a special episode where we talk about
Or
ALS.
ALS, the Alternative Learning System.
Right. So
Because we are homeschooling family, by the way. But it's a different kind of homeschooling because we don't have any providers. So it's called independent homeschooling or unschooling. Okay.
So to get started, what exactly is ALS? What does it stand for and what is it?
So ALS, again, is Alternative Learning System. It's a program of the government where they encourage people who have been out of school for such a long time and who don't have any formal education to get back to formal education.
All right.
And one of the objectives would be that, yung talagang the out of school youth or even the adults already, the OFWs and everyone.
Yeah, would be able to get the diploma, right?
Yes,
So
so that
they
they
can
can have a high school certification and be able to use that to apply for decent jobs.
Or to go to college.
Or yes, pursue higher education.
And who is ALS for?
Yun na nga yun. Same na. Those are the people who are who've been out of school for a long time or who have never been to any formal education, and the government just wants to give them a chance to have a better life because here in the country, you can't apply for decent jobs if you don't have at least a high school certificate. So that's what the government is aiming for, so that these people, even though they have been married, they have been, even if they're old, kaya nung during the graduation, the recent graduation, meron ng mga 60 years old, 70 years old, yeah. So they're given a chance to at least get that honor of having a high school diploma.
All right. A question for you guys is, what are the questions in ALS?
Or
What
subjects?
the subjects. What have you guys studied?
I think you can answer that as well. So
It's been a while since I did my ALS. It was a few years ago.
It's a recent graduate.
yeah, they.
So,
Yeah.
ano yung mga, so we have 7 modules. If you remember the learning modules.
Oh, but Jake's is new. Our
Wait.
me, Jack, and Jake. No, quiz is different.
Yeah,
Because
of course.
that was the first, I think, first time
But
that
more or
they did.
less, I think they have just added some.
Yeah, they just,
Alright.
but let's hear from Jake. If you remember the
Yeah.
7 learning modules.
The first learning module was English or in Filipino.
Filipino.
The second one was
So I know I said 7, pero 6 modules, pero the first one has 2 subjects, Filipino and English.
the
Okay.
second one is math, I believe.
Yeah.
Third is science. Fourth is the
Personal development.
personal development. I think that was the fifth.
Okay.
Okay, and then the fourth is the that one. The
Social
social
studies.
studies. Yeah, social studies.
And then the last one is computer, right?
Yeah,
Technology.
yeah.
Technology.
Technology.
So those are the subjects, and they have parang certain period on when they would finish that, right? So with you, Jake, I want to ask, how did you study all of those?
All right, so all of them.
Yeah. Kasi ito yung recent eh.
On your own.
On your own yun. Eh.
Yeah.
Come on.
In your own time.
Self-study. Come on. Oh, by the way, just so they know, kasi yung sa atin was modular learning. So there are 2 kinds sa ALS. Yung recent and this is not for JJ and I think that kayo din, modular din yung ginawa natin sa inyo. Ang ALS kasi, they have to attend the classes in barangays. No, or learning centers. Hindi yan talagang traditional school. In learning centers or in barangays, where the teacher, there's an ALS teacher teaching you the subjects, right? Now, kasi yung mga ALS students, or they are, alam nyo na, hindi masyado pang magaling, right? Kasi they're just coming back from being out of school. So wala talagang alam. And this is very, very challenging for ALS teachers, and that's why we commend all ALS teachers na nagtsatsaga to teach the children, or hindi nga children adults, no, and ang daming mga problema nitong mga adults na to. May umiiyak na baby, may nag-aalaga, may trabaho. So very challenging yung work ng ALS teachers. Now, you can opt to attend, hindi pala opt, I think it's mandatory for them to attend schools or yung, hindi pala schools, classes in barangays or in learning centers. But if the teacher sees that your child can do modular, so, I don't know the term, pero modular. If the teacher can, you can do self-study. So sa atin, ang ginawa natin with all of you, I guess, I asked the teacher that I would help her teach you guys. No? So kami ang naging ALS teachers nila in partnership with the ALS teacher. And then we go na lang there for mga grading, yung pag may test na. So we are asked to come for mga during the periodic exams. Yun. So that's what Jake did and all of you did. So here, since meron naman silang website, so you have the subject, you learn that, and in every subject, you have quizzes, you have tests, right? So that's what we did. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And talagang on their own sila because they already know how to read anyways. Now, if they don't know the answer, what do you do?
I ask for help.
How do you ask for help? Sino yung the main source?
Google it.
Si Google. Yeah, it's Mr. Google, not the parents. It's really Google. Kasi totoo naman na ngayon, you can search for any answer on Google, right? And then for the Tagalog, yun na. That's when we come in as parents. We help. Why are you laughing at me? Yeah, kasi all of you, they don't...
We have to Google Translate. And then,
translate. What else?
What was your experience with ALS, guys?
Ayun na lang, experience. So how do you find ALS? Ate, go.
I find that it's very flexible since you're able to do it in your own time. I feel like Jake is going to have the exact same answer because I've seen him doing it like any time of the day whenever I come downstairs. So it's very flexible, pretty easy to do, especially when you have Google to help you out with the answers or certain questions.
Yes.
For me, it was, I think back then, I believe it was just more painful on the hand because everything was just written down.
Oh, yeah.
The essays you had to write down on a, on a yellow pad.
Jake didn't like that either.
Yeah. But the questions were fairly easy. I think this is just to get the out of school youth or the people who haven't attended regular school back on track. They purposely made the questions easy so it's so they can integrate those people back into formal schooling with a proper diploma and all that. So it's a really good program from what I've experienced. All the questions were uniform and easy to understand.
How about you, Jeff? Do you have anything to add?
I would say that it's very convenient, and yes, it's actually the questions are actually very easy to answer.
You with Kuya kasi, by the way, FYI, Kuya failed the first ALS exam, and during his time, exam talaga siya, just like NCEE natin. So exam siya, and he failed because that was the year when the questions were in Tagalog, with the other subjects.
The math questions were in Tagalog.
Yes. So yun yung they did that the first time, and I think they had a reconsideration for that, right? So parang I think they change yung passing rate during that time. And then when Kuya retook it the next year,
Following year.
The following year, yun, nakapasa na siya. Pero kasi, ayun yung binalik na nila yung mga questions in English. Sino? Tagalog sa math.
Tagalog question sa Filipino subject.
Right. So yeah, so Kuya took it. We didn't know about this ALS before, and we really didn't care, no? Kasi talagang homeschooling kami supposedly all the way. But then somebody introduced us to this program, and I said, okay pala yun. And the year that Kuya took his ALS exam was the last year or last batch na they can go straight to college. So siya na yung last. And he was able to go straight to college. And pero itong mga to, malas kasi now there is K-12 and they have to go through grade 11 and 12. So now, they're now integrated in the formal education system and they were enrolled last year in LaSalle. So now, ang tanong na lang siguro is, since you were unschooled ever since, how was your experience being integrated for the first time in a traditional school setup? JM and Jack. Oh, no.
You already want to.
No, I went straight to college.
Yeah, he went straight to college and college na online din. So Kuya really hasn't been to school since grade 3. Pero si ate, kasi first time talaga ni ate, hindi pa naman. So you did kindergarten pala. But still, go.
Yeah, it's
First day, parang yung alam nila talaga yung experience.
extremely confused. I was very nervous as well because I'm an introvert.
Yes.
Even more so for me, even though I was the one always asking for directions and help. But in the end, I was able to rely on the other kids to help me out.
Yeah, confused kasi first time to be in school and your classmates probably mga sanay na dun sa environment nila, no? So confused. And what else? Meron kayong mga negative na sinabi sa amin?
I'm not sure I remember.
I remember you telling us na parang they're very disorganized.
Okay, on the first day.
First day.
Okay, so I don't remember anything being disorganized because I was just confused. Maybe
Pero yung first few days ng classes ninyo.
3 days.
You didn't like kasi you didn't like the setup because you don't remember na.
I don't remember.
I think I remember you though wanting to skip a few classes.
Yeah, you didn't like.
So you said you'd rather.
No, I remember the time where me and Atu was like, you know what? Let's purposely drop out of school. Yeah, let's go.
Well, I didn't like that I had to wake up at 2, go to school until 9, and then immediately go to work. So there really wasn't any time for me anymore. So I wanted to purposefully drop out.
Yeah,
as time passed, she adapted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I would say that it's
Jack had it easier.
yeah, I had it easier.
Why?
How so?
Jack had no job.
And I should get.
Oh yeah, kasi by the way pala, James already working. Work niya is US time zone. Kaya night shift siya. And buti na lang, yung school nila, night classes. So it's from 4 o'clock to 9 p.m. And then as soon as she gets home, she barely has time to eat. And then she has to work already until the next morning. And then she sleeps and then we wake her up at around 2 p.m. to go to school again. So medyo nahirapan siya. But still, ang question is, did you like school? First few days, I remember you telling us na you didn't like the setup because it's not the way that we're doing our education here in the house, right? The setup there is you have to listen to the teacher. And sometimes I think may mga times na yung teacher, you felt like, what? Parang...
You're incompetent.
Hindi naman.
No, that was like a 3rd trimester.
You were like really confused about how they're delivering.
It's probably the 3rd trimester.
Yeah. Hindi sila confident. They were really good.
Really good,
Super
really
good.
confusing.
But
I think-
their method,
Yeah,
their way of delivering their
Yes.
lesson is
That
a
was
bit
3rd
confusing.
trimester then.
Yun.
Their style of teaching is the one that you said.
Kasi traditional schooling na yan. Of course, they have to mind not just you, but all the other students. If the other students can catch up, then of course, you really have to be patient about it because it's an entire class. So in your case, probably you already know it and you're probably feeling a little bored about it.
Tsaka
So,
there was
yun.
a time na you were telling us there was a teacher who confused all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there was that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
there's
you gave
miscommunication
Yeah.
as a sub-teacher, and we had an exam,
and
and
you
failed,
failed.
all of us failed.
So it
Yeah.
means it was the teacher's method of teaching.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's not because they're incompetent. It's just that it's so different when you're doing homeschooling and then you go to a traditional school, because then the teacher has to address all the concerns of the students and not just you. With here in the house, we know how you are. You have different styles, so we already know you. But for teachers na, with how many students in a class? How many are you in the class? Like 20?
Yeah,
Or yung mga ganun, 20, right? So, mahirap yun for the teacher. And that's why they have to be paid more. Kasi ang hirap magturo. What else, Eugene?
Hey, can homeschoolers do ALS?
Yeah.
I meant
Yeah,
like other regular people. I mean
Regular homeschoolers?
as in.
as in, I guess the way to rephrase the question is how easy is it for
To be-
homeschoolers
To be integrated.
to be integrated using the ALS program?
Mm.
Because for us, we already knew the subjects and all that, and we had prior knowledge of what we're of the program and what we're going to be doing, and all the questions were pretty easy. But what do you think for, let's say, other people who want to get into the ALS program? Would it be difficult or hard for them? I think Mom would best answer this because she's the one who got us into it.
Ikaw na rin. Yung sa tingin mo. Would they be able to? Of course. Lalo na pag mga homeschooling. Kasi tayo mga homeschoolers, the teachers are the parents. And the parents are very matyaga and patient with their own children, diba? Pero for out-of-school youth, yung mga hindi homeschooling, probably there is more challenge. Ako, na-witness ko talaga yan. These are the people who, if you remember si Brother Dan, no? Nagreklamo siya kasi palaging absent, tapos kasama yung mga kids nila doon sa barangay. I remember si JM, nagte-take ng exam yun. And then, yung mga kaklase niya, kung ano na lang yung mga ginagawa. So, hindi okay, etong mga ALS students, no, hindi naman lahat, pero yung mga na-witness ko, mga classmates ninyo, ito talaga yung super challenge in life na they're just wanting to get on with it, finish it, pero hindi talaga sila seryoso about it. But of course, they want to. Pero because of life situations na they have kids, they have to have work, sometimes they don't even have money to pay for their transport. Ang dami talagang challenges for them. And for the teacher talaga, very challenge them to be able to help them. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng you will just pass them without them doing the hard work. And it's really hard work for them, because again, they don't have any idea on the subjects, and the teacher is the one really teaching them. And very simple, like English, grammar, a simple subject as that. So for us, homeschoolers, yes, madali for us. But for the others na talagang out of school youth, walang alam, mahirap for them. But for the homeschoolers, go ahead and do this. Yun nga lang, recently we had an issue na ang ALS pala is not really for the homeschoolers, right? So, kailangan ma-address yan ng DepEd. And Jake here, I think they have a new rule na you have to go through elementary first. You have to finish elementary first. You have an accreditation for elementary before you get to high school. With you kasi, you went straight to high school. JHS, Junior High School ALS. With Kuya, senior high school agad yan. Or wala pang senior high school, diretso na lang college. So in your case, medyo okay tayo. But for now, for other homeschoolers who would be doing this the way that we're doing it or we did it, it would be hard for you because now I think they're implementing something else that you have to go through elementary first. So if your kids are now 12 years old, you might want to explore ALS already and find a teacher who would accept your child. Kasi yung ALS, there is a certain scope only na who can take it. Dapat daw sa PEPT tayo, whereas kami naman nag-ALS. Or kung makakalusot kayo sa ALS, do ALS. Now, 12 years old, elementary ALS. 16 years old, high school ALS. But you have to have previous accreditation or records for elementary before you can enroll in high school ALS. In your case, wala. Pero nakalusot tayo because when the teacher gauge your competency during the enrollment, nakita naman niya na you're good. So, pang junior high school na kayo. Okay?
Hopefully ganun mangyari, no? By
Yeah.
competency, hindi by accomplishment na dapat natapos mo na elementary ALS para makapawa ka ng high school ALS.
Yeah, we had an issue with him kasi when he was supposed to take his revalida already, the DepEd evaluator said that she can only allow Jake to graduate from elementary, not high school. And that's where I got upset and argued that Jake did JHS modules. So if he was able to pass that, right, then it means that he's already okay for senior high school, right? Kasi he was given the modules for high school, the junior high school. Okay lang sana if from the very start he was told na, oh, you can only do elementary. And now we'll give you modules for elementary. Okay lang sana if from the start that's what happened. But not after he has done high school modules that you would allow him to graduate from elementary, which is not fair for him because he did his work, right? Talagang hirap na hirap siya dun sa some of the modules, especially the Filipino modules, no? And it wasn't fair for him to be allowed to graduate only from elementary when he did the high school. Even if you give him college modules, probably he'll be able to do it. So again, hindi naman yan sa, you know, sa competency nga, no? Yung ALS natin or yung government natin, they're really into like kung ano yung requirement, dapat daw may elementary accreditation or something, yun ang sinusunod nila. So I went to the DepEd supervisor and argued my points there. And eventually they relented kasi wala naman silang mapakita sa akin na where is that memorandum order where it says talaga na there should be an elementary accreditation first. But I guess there is, hindi lang nila naipakita. And because of that, they allowed him to graduate from, and besides, he was enrolled as junior high school. So dapat makagraduate siya junior high school. Now he is a graduate of junior high school on to senior high school naman. He's now enrolled, pareho lang nito, enrolled na sila sa night school ng Lasal. So now guys, what would you probably advise the students? I mean, yung experience niyo based on your experience from homeschool to traditional school, okay ba? Kasi some of the parents, you know, their fear is parang my kids are, I don't know what my kids' level of grade is. Parang, are they learning enough? Are they gonna be okay when they finally get into traditional school? I think that's what the parents of unschoolers are concerned about. So, what would you say, Ate? Kasi you were excellent, no? When you did your first year in traditional schooling, you were very excellent, both of you. So, what can you advise the parents? What can you tell them?
For homeschooling parents,
Yes.
teach your children Filipino. They will need it.
Well, we do teach you Filipino, right?
Yeah, you
Because you're speaking Filipino here in the house. However, it's you who are not wanting to learn about
It's
Filipino.
me and Jamie are better than Jack and Jake. Even Jamie herself is better than Jack and Jake.
So, yeah, okay. So, teach Filipino. Pero the thing is with Filipino subjects, Ate, I know that you're saying teach Filipino. But have you seen the modules of Filipinos? Yung Filipino subject, have you seen? Hindi naman siya everyday conversation, right?
So,
Yeah,
still.
Diba, when you were asking us, what does it mean? Even we don't know, right? Kasi we never use the terms.
They're very malalim.
Yeah, they're
Very academic. It's more academic.
But you still will need it, or you're going to be leeching off your classmates.
But the thing is, Ate, you know what? It's not just as the parents who are not teaching you Filipino. Kasi we're talking to you in Filipino you know it.
And we
But
understand.
I think, yeah, and you understand. I think what they need to do, yung government or yung DepEd, they change the modules. Diba? Kasi ang hirap naman na hindi siya everyday conversation, yung mga Filipino terms doon, na hindi naman natin talaga nagagamit, right? kayo, we talk in Filipino, you understand Filipino, pero when you read the, kung ano yung Filipino subjects, parang mali rin naman. Anyway, what else? Ako dyan, because you were excellent, pero you did good. You did good in your subjects. How about you, Jack? What can you advise?
What can I advise? I excelled in first year.
How? Pero you're very introvert, you said.
Yes.
And so, how were you in class?
Not very talkative.
Okay. So how did you survive class? How did you survive? Come on, tell them so that they would know, especially if they also have kids who are introvert like you.
I usually only talk with one friend.
Okay.
I only converse with one friend. For the rest, if they just talk to me, I'll just converse with them as well.
Okay.
But not usually, not as much.
Pero how did you survive school? How did you understand the teacher who was talking in Taglish? Kasi you understand naman. Okay.
The teacher speaks in English when they're talking to me.
Okay.
Speak to that. Oh, except our Filipino teacher who ignored. But he's very, very nice.
Yes.
And he let Jack pass. He let Jack pass even though Jack didn't do anything.
We got it naman. What? You're not even classmates. Would you say that?
Okay, Jack leached off some of the group, especially group projects.
Oh yeah, pero ang ibig lang sabihin nun is resourceful siya. Kapag Google Translate naman kayo. And I think it's not the way that you speak Tagalog. It's the way that you comprehend the subject, diba? Remember, when there's a Filipino sentence, let's say for example, and you don't understand that, and I translate it in English, you don't understand it. And then now, all you have to do is just find ways to answer that in Filipino. Just like what you did, remember before? Because during your revalida, his revalida, na yung depth and evaluator nga was very, very strict, right? And it was in Tagalog. It was in Tagalog. And you asked can you tell that story? You asked your ALS teacher if you can answer in English. Go, tell that story. You're doing the revalida, the test that she gave you in Tagalog. Come
I don't really remember that.
come on, you told me, di ba? And then you ask your teacher, ALS teacher, if you can answer in English. Di ba? And then the teacher said, no. So what you did was, it's a good thing you had your phone.
Yeah, he used my phone.
Yeah,
you
you
did
used
Google Translate.
You did Google Translate because you told me, do you remember now?
No.
You told me that she's so strict, and if you try to answer in English, you might get angrier with you.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and you said you had to use the phone under the table.
Under the table, because we didn't want her to see you using the phone while answering. But this was Google Translate. You were not really cheating. You just didn't really know how to answer in Tagalog, but you were wanting to answer in English. Anyway, you're just being resourceful.
And what are the answers like?
What do you mean answers?
No, Jake's answers were really like in Google Translate.
I wonder about
I'm
that.
pretty sure it was very inaccurate. Yeah.
Do you think that the subjects in school are much easier than the questions asked in the modules in the
Oh,
test?
definitely not.
Definitely not.
Different.
Yeah. Very different.
They have to study.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird because for me in college, the questions are much easier than they are in the ALS.
Maybe
exam.
because you took a test and immediately went to college, because yours was different than ours. You didn't do the
maybe-
modular thingy.
Maybe the college subjects that I'm taking right now, maybe they're just a bit
Easy.
easy.
And
Okay, anyway, let's ask Jamie. Jamie now is going to be enrolled. Hopefully we can enroll her in ALS. A is Advanced Elementary. So yun naman yung required na yun. Dapat mag-elementary muna. So enroll na natin siya. If you have kids na 12 years and above, basta before 16. Pwede silang advanced elementary ALS. So Jamie, if makalusot tayo na ma-enroll ka namin, what are your expectations? Because you've been homeschooled ever since, and now you're gonna do what they're doing, which is to just be on the computer, read the questions, and then answer them on yellow pad. Come on, tell us your thoughts about that.
I'm expecting that all the teachers are gonna speak Tagalog.
Okay, and
I'd like to go to a Saudi school.
And even
okay,
then,
we'll teach you. No, okay, parang with the Tagalog thing, guys, so this two naman, they're learning, they're trying to learn. They just do not speak the language, but they do understand. So, yun lang yung natin na because there are some people, judging families who do not teach their kids Tagalog. We do. We speak to them in Tagalog. They understand Tagalog. It's just harder for them to speak in the language, especially if they're the ones conversing most of the time, right? With their friends and also, ganun talaga yun. It's that immersion.
Actually,
I do understand.
I was speaking in Tagalog easier yesterday because I was surrounded by my brain just adjusted.
So I think if you were to speak with people who are always speaking in Tagalog and conversing in Tagalog, masasanay na rin kayo, right? And you would also speak in Tagalog. But the thing is, as long as you understand, as long as di kayo mabenta. Okay, go Jamie. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this plan of you going to ALS?
Are you nervous? Are you not really nervous about the ALS, but more about the school? Yeah.
School,
It's not school. It's a program.
yeah. So then you'll probably go to the barangay for the test, but we will request the teacher if you can do modular again. When we say modular,
they will give us the papers and we study.
you
You
do it yourself.
Works. It's like that homework.
Yeah, you do it yourself. You study here. No,
Kind of,
to assist you.
it's kind of like Kumon.
Yeah, it's like, come on, right? You bring home the assignment, you do it there, and then you go back
And
do the
submit.
assignment. Yeah, it's the same thing. How about you, Jake? Since you're the latest graduate of ALS, what can you say about the experience? Come on, just say anything about your experience.
It was tiring because sometimes I had to do I had to redo entire module.
Why redo?
The teacher didn't like the work.
No,
No, he put the answers.
Oh, yeah,
on
I-
one page
uh,
instead of separating them.
yeah, and
on page.
also
So you have to read.
sometimes I wrote it down on yellow pad, but then when I remember I gave it to them, and then now when they returned they returned the modules to me. They weren't there.
So they
So I
have
had
to
to,
redo.
yeah,
Oh,
Should have been, they
That's
asked you to
rough.
transfer from the yellow
pad
paper
to the also printed.
printed,
the printed.
and but they lost the yellow
Yeah,
answer sheet, so he has to redo it.
So very tiring ang experience mo. But other than that, what else? What else can you say? I mean, is it a good program? Because you didn't have to go to school. You just had to do the modules on your own. Or did you want na someone is there teaching you about it rather than learning it on your own? What do you think?
I think it was okay.
It was okay. Why? Because you don't want talaga. You don't want to go to school. And what else can you say about the ALS? It's a good program of the government, by the way. We commend the authors of the ALS program, Congressman Romulo. I believe. I don't know kung sino talaga, but it's a good program. It's a good program. However, they need to revisit the terming for the OSY, the out of school youth, to include people like us who the parents who opt to homeschool their children. Homeschool should not be the term to be used because homeschooling is for those with providers, but teachers who parents who opt to teach their kids on their own without any provider, without any homeschool provider, without any help from anyone else, just on their own. We should be included in the term out of school youth. These kids are out of school because they're not in formal education. It's just the parents who are teaching them. So I think they need to broaden the scope so that we are included because we are not part of the homeschooling term and they have a separate program for that. And we Yeah. And we just want to be part of this ALS so that these kids can go back to formal education, just like what you hope for other OSYs. And the OSYs should not be confined to people who are poor, people who didn't have the means to go to school. They should not be confined to that because our constitution mandates that everyone has a right to be educated. Right now, we are helping the government educate these children the best way that we can. So we should be partners, and we should not be discriminated against because there's disparity here because of the scope that they included there in the term OSY, or the out of school youth. Very limited yung scope na yon to include us, parents who can afford to send our kids to school but chose not to. But you know what, there are different reasons, such as financial reasons, and wala nga dun yung religious reasons but of course probably hindi yan kasama. Hindi nila sinama yan because wala naman sigurong religion mag-prohibit for you to send your kids to school, but then wala dun religious reason. But there could be a lot of reasons that they don't know that they should just allow all out of school youth, all kids who have no formal education, to be integrated in the formal education through ALS program.
Regardless of the reason why.
Regardless of the reason.
Out of school.
As long as they have this competency prerequisite, no, na to gauge them, ano yung level nila. So when they finally want to go back to school, anong gauge nila? Pang high school ba? Pang ano? I know that there is PEPT, but that's still different. Because ito ang take ko on PEPT versus ALS. With PEPT, you have to take the test for all grade levels that you miss, that the kids miss, which is kind of unfair for me compared to the ALS program. Because for the ALS, the children or the enrollees, the students just need to finish the course, the ALS, and they would have the high school diploma. And again, as I have compared, these children and those who have been taught by their parents are way advanced, way more advanced than the children or the students who are enrolled in ALS. So there is sort of parang disparity, and they have to revisit it. So I'm calling on our lawmakers to include or to revisit ano yung purpose, objectives ng PEPT, homeschooling, and then the ALS. You might probably be able to just merge the two because anyway, there's no difference. What your objective is to bring them all back to formal education. And if that's the objective, then why not just do the ALS program for all of them anyway, and not the PEPT, because with PEPT, do you know that you have to pay for every grade level? So if you didn't do grade 1 until grade 7 or until grade 6, you'd have to be paying 200 for each grade level. And then you should pass all grade levels. Otherwise, even if you're already grade 6, but your mentality or the testing, you only pass until grade 3, then you'd be allowed to enroll in grade 3. But as we know, standardized testing is not the only way to gauge someone's intellect, right? Whereas with the ALS program, and you know who are graduates of ALS, not all of them are really good. They're allowed to have high school diploma. So yun yung something that I would want to really present to the lawmakers. You have to rethink that. If these kids who are way more advanced than the ALS graduates, their ALS graduates are only allowed to just take one test or one portfolio, one testing, and they're given high school diploma, and then they have to have the grade level. They have to pass all the grade levels and pay for that. Might want to just check on that. Okay, so thank you guys for all the homeschoolers. I hope that you have learned something. This is our JMJ family, and we really didn't know about the ALS before. It's a good thing that we were introduced to that. But it's a really good option for homeschoolers, or not homeschoolers, but unschooling or independent homeschoolers. Again, that's a term that we use that we should not pala use. It's okay. for families who opted to teach their kids on their own for whatever reason, you should check out ALS or the PEPT program of the government. But yeah, but the ALS is really the way that we did it. Four of our children already graduated from ALS, and if you are going to invite us, yung even sa Congress, they're wanting to explore this merging of PEPT and the ALS. We're so willing to give our sharing, to share our experience with that. Right? What else can you say, guys? Ate, go. Since ikaw, naging excellent kayo sa traditional schooling. Very good yan. Go.
Good luck.
How about you, Jack? Come on, ano ba naman itong mga homeschool kids na ito? Parang hindi sasalita. Yung introvert pa rin kayo?
You'll do great.
You'll be fine. You promise.
You will survive.
Yes, you will survive.
Why? Why will they survive? Why do you
It should
think?
be easy enough for you.
But they didn't have any experience in school.
Oh, in school, okay.
Yeah,
You will still survive. Just be yourself. Find that one classmate that will always stick by you, and you will stick by them, and you'll be good. You'll survive. Yay.
How about you, Jake? Si Jake kasi wala pa eh. Mag-start pa lang siya.
Do not be a one-man island. There's no such thing. Just find someone to leech on, and in turn let them
leech on.
Let them leech. Okay, leech on them when it's needed, and let them leech on you when they need it. There, that's
just help.
Why just call it get a friend?
Leech on the spot.
Leech?
They're leeching on their
I think that
they're leeching on your
I think that's called friendship. They used to back in the olden days they called it friendship. They call it a leech.
There are really gonna be some days when you really don't, you really want to focus on yourself because this subject might be hard, this assignment might be so hard.
Oh yeah, I just remember that kasi si Jack na, di ba, is very introvert, very shy. Okay, so I was very concerned if he is doing well in class. So what I did was I befriended one of his classmates and created a chat group, and I told him if you can just check on Jack from time to time, and he was the one reporting to me that Jack's really doing well. He just doesn't talk. Even here at home, he doesn't tell us what went on, what happened, So when you have been
Jack just goes on autopilot whenever he steps into school grounds.
Autopilot that.
And then he switches off, and then once he exits, it switches on, and he doesn't remember what.
Just go to school.
Yeah, go to school.
Sit down in his chair. Bring like this.
Good kasi nag-first honors, diba? So parang
Men's participating.
yeah, you're participating, and then you discovered something, right? That you're very good in PE, the running, pala, PE, the sport of running, and he's very fast. So we discovered that he is the Flash. How about you, Kuya? Kuya kasi never went to school na. Last school mo was grade 3, right? So ito naman online. So did you like it?
Yeah, the online college is pretty great.
Flexible.
It's also modular, so I get to do it on my own terms, and the exams are also online. Fairly easy enough to understand.
But would you want to go to a university? Because I remember when we were looking for university for you, right? You wanted to enroll in what's that? Thames? Yeah,
Yes.
because it was near our
It was
house. So it's just there. Walking distance or just one ride?
2 tricycles.
2 tricycles, all right? Diba? So you wanted to go to Thames, and then I challenged you, I asked you, do you really want to? Because as you know, we are enjoying time freedom. We go out when we want to go out, take vacation when we want to take vacation. And if you are in school, of course, you can't just take vacation whenever, right?
Yeah.
And you decided, okay, we'll find an online school, and we did, and that is AMA. You've been doing
I'm
AMA.
online.
And also because I already coded you as a financial advisor. So you were already working. So can you imagine if you were
Yeah.
studying, you won't be able to work.
Since I've worked on my own time and I also had my job, which I also do on my own time, I'm able to balance the two out instead of just having one entire schedule for half of the day and then the other one dedicated to another. This time I'm able to schedule and balance my day to whatever's needed.
Yeah.
If we have to go out, I can pause my college for a bit. If I have to meet up with a client, I can do that. Or if I really have to focus on my tests, I can switch around the times and set alarms and all of that.
So freedom of time talaga, no? Flexibility of your time. So si Kuya and Ate, they're both working already. Si Ate started working last year. Kuya since he was 8, actually 16 no? And these two naman, forcing them
To get a job.
get jobs. Why? Kasi talagang
Because
they
it
need that.
reaches.
The leeches also,
Yeah.
when Ate gets the sweldo.
Hey, I don't ask her to give her her money.
Yeah, but then you'll do,
Yeah.
you're not buying anything. Why you just like them? Okay, give me your phone. I haven't bought anything today.
You accept the money from Mata anyway, so
So I want them to earn their own, although this one has already earned over $2,000.
Just find a way to convert it.
No, not just that, to continue because YouTube stopped it, right? So yun, but he's been doing it. They're working. Actually, this one naman is working on his animation skills. So they're working, walang sweldo. Ito naman hindi pa makuha. So gusto ko now yung may sweldo so that at least they're enjoying. Just like with Ate, how do you do your sweldo? I mean, the way that you're enjoying it right now.
10, 20, 70. So 10% I save for charity or to give away. 20% is for me and my personal expenses. 70% savings.
Right. Yung tinuro ni Brother Bo na abundance formula 10, 20, 70. So supposedly yung 70% you live on that. That should be your monthly expenses, right? However, why are you not spending 70% and just a 20%?
Because I'm living with you.
Yes. Walang gastos sa rent, internet, pagkain, lahat sa amin. So, since you're not spending for yourself, you gotta save the 70%, which is what we're doing, what we're using for their policies to pay her policies, and of course, inuutang ng mga ito for their policies.
You guys are collecting your debt.
Oh no, because when you were not working, it was Kuya's sweldo naman. Paying for your policies, guys. Ganun lang yun. So, si Kuya naman, actually si Kuya, that no 10, 20, 70, 100%, binibigay niya to pay off for everything. Ganun talaga ang Kuya. But I know, next time Kuya, we will do the 10, 20, 70 with you. Will allow you to get your 20%. Kasi si Kuya, ever since, even though we gave him the money, he's always giving them a treat also. If you remember that, guys. No? It was long time ago. So, pero si Kuya, nagtitreat din sa inyo. So, inuubos niya rin yung pera niya sa inyo. Alright, so now it will be your turn, guys. So find jobs so that you can also practice at 10, 20, 70 and you can enjoy your 20%. Like Ate has been enjoying her 20%. We don't care where she spends them. Pero dito everyday Lazada. No?
yeah.
Doorbell Lazada for JM. But it's fine because that's her money. And that's how we should enjoy our own earnings. And at the same time, saving for the future. So they still have our 50 policies in Sun Life. We still have their mutual funds. So some of the earnings of Ate, I always put on her COL at saka din sa mutual fund niya and of course the policy. So now, next na itong tatlo. I'm forcing them, find jobs, just like Ate is, because they can. Especially if night classes naman, you have all the time in the world. It's okay to push yourselves while you're young so that when you get to our age, 40s, 50s, you'll be enjoying your life already. Marami nang naipon, alright? Yes,
So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching. Please join us next time with another episode of
It's time, family. Sige, ako naman. Sige, very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Uy!